we were easily becoming known as, that's the guy who lost a child. That's the guy who lost a child in that car accident. And we didn't want that to be what defined us. We wanted to be pointing people to faith, and that there was more opportunity to come from that. But it was only going to come if we were all in. And there wasn't going to be something that we could just give pieces of it to God. We had to give the whole entire thing to Him. It was Sunday morning early, and I get a phone call from a random stranger that just says, your kids have been in an accident. My two oldest, Jake and Hannah, were traveling back to my place after the weekend, and they were in a car accident. And Jake was thrown from the vehicle. He suffered a broken leg. Hannah had injuries that were much more severe. And I can remember very early on the doctor, one of the doctors just saying, odds are she's not going to make it. And I remember having a conversation with my dad the day before, and he said to me, it's just me and him in the waiting room, I don't think Hannah's gonna make it, but it's gonna be okay. From there, we came home and began that process of new life, trying to begin a new life without Hannah in it. And we had a choice we had to make of, do we want this to be something that we're bitter about, or do we want this to be something that we're blessed from? And we chose the blessing route, and we felt like we only do that because of God being at the center of what we're doing. If I could have a conversation with Hannah now, I'd love for her to meet Mabry. That's the one thing that if I could change, it's that her getting to meet Mabry would be very awesome.
I always wanted to see Hannah, but Hannah's always in my heart and in my prayers.
I'm glad that I can look at Mabry and see some of her features. I can see some of her personality.
This was Hannah's, and she named her Cupcake because I think she liked cupcakes a lot. She's special because she was my sister's. Even though I didn't get to see her, I got to keep her stuffed animal.
Although life has gone on, that we haven't forgotten about her, and that we tried to make it a point for Mabry to still know her, even though she didn't get to meet her. I think that's important.
This one was Hannah's because it has her name in it, and I put my name in it too. And we found it out in the garage with the old books, and it's one of my favorite Bibles.
One of the things I think that we don't value enough is that God hears us when we cry. God hears us when we're not in a good place. When tragedy hits, God is as present and as close then as He is at any other time with His people. And that's something that has been His pattern throughout history. Anytime God's people have cried out to Him, He's heard and He's responded. And so there's great power in that, and there's great hope in that.
When tragedy hits, let those around you support you. Let your family, let your community just build you up, and let them help you, let them do for you. If they offer, let them pray with you.
Yeah, I don't know where we would be without our community. Faith was never designed to be done alone, and I don't know where we would be without our community that has surrounded us. From those we knew then to those who didn't know us, who now know us now, that we would call our core people. We're grateful that they've been very supportive along the way, and I think because we've stepped into, this is our story, this is part of who we are. We've been able to have conversations with people that we probably would not have had, or we've had relationships with people that we probably would not have had. And again, we're grateful for those people, but ultimately we're grateful that God has worked in those areas and cultivated something out of nothing. Even though she's no longer with us here, she's no longer with us somewhere else. There's a new world, a new heaven that we've been promised. And if we'll step into that faith, we know we'll get to see her again there. And that's exciting, and that's forever. Death doesn't have any space in that world. So